Hello, all. One of the students posted this discussion regarding money market funds. And one of the issues here says that, the student is saying, I keep money either in CDs, I don't keep money in CDs or money market. That is correct about CDs. When you put money in CD, if you take your money out, then you will lose your interest. However, that is not true about money market funds. As far as I know, if you create a checking account with the money market funds, it allows you, certain checks to be written, against the money that you have in that money market account. But that doesn't mean that you can, you can't access your money market. I'll tell you what it means, and I'll talk about it in more details. First, just I wanted to make sure. I went to ChatGPT and I asked, can you take money out of money market funds anytime you want to? And see what ChatGPT said. Yes, you can typically money from the money market fund at any time. Money market funds are designed to be liquid, meaning you can access your fund without significant restrictions or penalties. However, it is a good idea to check. And I'll tell you why I say that it is. You can take your money anyone you want because you do not need to use your money market funds as a checking account. It is like you have a saving account. The people connect their saving accounts to their checking accounts because saving usually allows you maybe 2 checks per month, 3 checks per month. Therefore, if the person wants extra money, extra checks, what the person does is he or she transfers money from the saving account to the checking account online, or with whatever rule that the bank has, and then writes as many checks as I want. Therefore, this concept is based on assumption that we want to use our money market fund as a checking account. No, when you use money market fund, what you have to do is that you transfer money from the money market fund to your checking account any month you want to. Therefore, your money is not stock, it is liquid. I gave an example of Charles Schwab. Here is the fund. If I pull it, if I see the fund, and here it is. Let me bring here schwab.com and then SWVXX. SWVXX. I click here. And when I click in here, this is the fund. What it means is that you buy each single fund for $1. You have $1,000, you buy 1,000, a single $1 fund. Therefore, it is sitting there it is exactly like your saving account. And this saving account maybe allows you only 6 checks, but you don't need to use it as a checking account. Anytime you need money, you just go there and you sell. Let's say you need $50. You sell 50 of those $1, which is $50. And then you transfer the money online instantly, from your money market fund. It will go to your checking account, and in your checking account, then they will, the money is available. Usually it takes 1 day. That means that when you sell your money market funds, these money market funds will be executed at 4 p.m., I think, as far as I know, usually. When they are executed, that means that those $50 from there at 4 p.m. goes to your checking account, and you can have as many transactions as you want. Therefore, if you have any questions about this issue, easily my recommendation, call Charles Schwab, which is a great contact us. You click here, and this is the telephone, Schwab Brokerage. Give a call to this number, which is 1-800-435-4000, and say that you want to, open an account, money market fund, and you want to put, for example, $500, $1,000. When you put there, then you put your own checking account, which is, Summit Bank, Capon Valley Bank, or any other bank. And then what you do, you connect these two together. Once you connect them together, that means anytime you need, you sell your, therefore by doing so, you are getting 5% interest at the moment. Suppose that SWVXX, as I mentioned, gives 5.12%, which is a very reasonable amount of interest that it gives you at any moment that you can. I would like to talk a little bit more about this one, since we are already talking about money market fund. I want you to understand what it is. We said that the reason Schwab can give you 5.12% is that it gets the money. How much money they have in this account? $220 billion. Therefore, it's not a small fund. Millions, hundreds of thousands of people have contributed money, and this fund has been in place since 1992, which is a great. That means this is not a fund that came just yesterday. They have it from 1992, which makes it, 32 years ago they established this fund. And when they manage this fund, I will talk to you about what this 0.35 means. I will talk about that. And then shares outstanding, is the same amount because each share is $1, And then daily net shareholder flows. Most likely the people keep taking their money out, and then daily liquidity assets means that maybe in 37% of it, most likely, is liquid at any moment. And then weekly liquidity assets, 55.50. That means half of the fund is already liquid, The only time it can become illiquid is suddenly as many as 50,000 people. Let's say all people who have put their money in here, suddenly at one point they go and say they want money out. Therefore, that can happen. The same thing with the Summit Bank. If you go to all the customers of the Summit Bank, in one day, they go to the Summit Bank and say they want cash to take all their money out. Summit Bank won't be able to help them because they don't have as much cash. They tell that, okay, you need your money, we can give you, but the problem is that you have to wait until tomorrow, until 1 week, because as many as 50,000 people, 20,000 people might have, accounts with Summit Bank. Therefore, if some of them might have a lot of money, they don't have cash in there. Therefore, and also sometimes Summit Bank uses some of the money that you give to Summit Bank and puts it in illiquid assets. How? Because some people go and borrow money from Summit Bank to buy houses. Summit Bank cannot at any moment go and tell those people, okay, we gave you 100,000 mortgage, we want it right away, we want it back. It cannot say that. Therefore, all financial institutions, when they invest money, even if they put it in this, some specific accounts, and these accounts, they are called liquid because this account, that means that if they decide to have cash, they can have $100 billion cash within 1 week. And in 1 day, they can have $370 million in cash in 1 day. Therefore, in AVB said each one of them is $1. And then we go here and then let's see what the prime money market, when it says prime, some of you, use ChatGPT, you said prime. The reason it says prime is that when they get your money, they don't, if they can give all of it to the federal government, to the government of, government of Joe Biden. What the federal government borrows sometimes money from the people because federal government has expenses. They have to pay to the soldiers, they have to pay to the embassies, they have to pay the people who work at the White House, Social Security Department. Therefore, they always need money, the federal government. They go to some organizations just like Schwab, just like Vanguard, just like to many other or individuals. They borrow money in the form of giving them bonds, selling them bonds. They collect the money and then they pay, the salaries of, whatever expenses But you know that federal government has a huge income. That income is mainly from the taxes that they get from us. Therefore, we are not worried about giving our money to federal government. And also, we are not worried about although this money, when it says prime market, money market, that means that they don't give all of it to the federal government, because federal government is very safe. What they do, they give out of that $200 billion, maybe they give $10 million to federal government, $10 million to the state of West Virginia, maybe suppose $10 million they give to Apple, $10 million to Walmart. Therefore, they distribute and they charge them 6%. When they charge them 6%, then what they do is that they keep some of it. They have some expenses. That expenses is very little, 0.35. That means that this is just out of that 1%. That because they give you interest for 5%, they charge 6% interest rate. That means there is 1% remains for Schwab. Schwab, 1/3 of that 1% goes for the employees of Schwab, because it has to pay the managers, to make sure that where they have to put their money, to whom, to make sure they are giving this money market to, safe people. They don't want to give to crazy companies that they go bankrupt. Therefore, that is where this 0.35 comes from. And minimum initial investment, no minimum. The meaning of no minimum is that you can open an account with Schwab. If they allow you to open, you can call them, and it doesn't require you to put $10,000 first. If you have $50, you can use your $50. I strongly recommend, if you can afford it, if you can open an account, give them a call. And I gave you the telephone number. Say you want to open an account, and my recommendation, put $50. That way you understand in many occasions to learn about the investment, to learn about stocks, to learn about bonds. I have an advice for you. You don't need to go there like a maniac and put $50,000 or $10,000. You start with something basic like $20 or $50. Then when you put it, you will learn, because if you put it, you will learn how to transfer money, how to connect your, Schwab account to Summit Bank or Capon Valley Bank, how to transfer money, and you will learn a lot about personal finance. And therefore, I highly recommend, because if you learn about these things, you can solve a lot of financial problems that you might have. But for now, I wanted you to all to know about it. And as I said, sometimes, and let me see, here it is, the interest rate that now is giving today is 5.12%. And in 7 days, in the past 7 days, they have given, 5.12. 2 weeks ago, 1 month ago, it was 5.17. This goes a little bit down, a little bit up, or a little bit down. Next month, I know about 2-3 in a month or so, the Federal Reserve is going to meet, and they might say, let's bring down the interest rates. Therefore, if suddenly bring down the interest rates by 1/4 of a point, that means 0.25%. If they do that, the impact of that in this one will be something around 4, for example, 483, for example. Therefore, they give you 483 because Federal Reserve has dropped the, but it's a smart way to have the money here. Why should I have my $50 or $100 in Summit Bank that is giving me nothing, while I can put it in here in my $100 and I can get 5.12%. 5.12% of $100 is $5.12 in 1 year. Therefore, that is a smart way to make our money grow. Therefore, what I want you to do, and again, I want to, click here. We talked about portfolio, and it was a small screen I showed you. I hope this time is not a small screen. I can increase the font size. That way, where your money is being given. You give your money, where your money goes. Here it is. Let me see it. It doesn't. Here you go. Let me see if it is zoom. 30%, 40%. Okay, let me see 125%. And when I go here, and here is, it says commercial paper. Skip to document. Okay, here for now, I have a screen here. I don't want to lose what I lectured, but I will show you in another video.